All right, all right. Let's see. If I remember correctly, I was in the middle of testing, I believe CPU and CLI. I think the thing that was the problem is that it would constantly say, "Oh, we got to throw an interrupt right after the CLI instruction executes," which is not what I want because I want it uh, to uh, only throw once I have a chance to save a few things. But my method for that was to keep it from throwing, or keep it from sending an interrupt if it was privileged. You see, perhaps the problem is it was counting hold interrupt. And then again, a double equal probably also may have caused that issue. So maybe it was just me doing one thing that I shouldn't do, one character too much. Okay, I have absolutely no idea exactly what I needed for my test. So let's take a look. Uh, wait, no, over here. 56. Uh, which one of these is 56? This one. So I do break here. Uh, hmm. And register RA is 104, which is this right here. It just does not get to execute the next instruction. That's unfortunate for it. Though I imagine it should be able to, because it should uh, not increment the scheduled interrupt if it's in privileged mode, and thus it should jump back here, and at least one cycle would pass by, so it would read the next thing, um, and then it would be free to execute the rest of this, and then it should go here and then be interrupted again. If I remember correctly. Uh, CPU clock equals 0, and hold interrupts is not set. So, wait, hold on. What was same as before? Okay, what if I set this instead of like to what, 8? Like, where is it? 32. Not entirely sure why it has the return value of 120. I mean, actually, I think I might understand. Does it set the okay? Hold on. If mi is greater than 0, Register RA is equal to register program counter. Register program counter is equal to register SI, which S SI is a system interrupt jump location. Okay. But unless I have forgotten that I am jumping back to this particular location, then register RA should be different. Keeps having a value of 120 makes me a little confused. All right, I'm going to go over and put a breakpoint for any instruction that jumps, with exception of the system jump or system call. Also do a function call. Actually, yeah, I don't recall using a system call anywhere, so it did not break once, which means that it should then be setting uh, register RA to a something that it should set it to. And in my 80, which is the most significant bit, let's put a breakpoint at both of these. Not quite looking for extensions. All right. Let's see. Register program counter is 120. Okay. All right. So it does set. Where is it? It does set register RA. And wonder what happens at register at program counter 120. Let me look. Is that's 112? 12? What's that 120? Is it like a sleep instruction? All right. I'm gonna set a breakpoint here, not because I care about what particularly happens at this location, or rather, I do care that it happens, but I'm more concerned with when this is 120. All right, it's register 120, or register program counter is 120. Uh, Somehow, the first time we break, we're already on uh, our ninth cycle. Does that make sense? And it's a move instruction. Hmm. What's our last instruction? 112. So right after uh, our last move instruction. All right, let's CPU clock is 9 for some reason. Why is it 9? Oh, right. I suppose because it by the time it gets past the 8, it will set it at 8 plus. Okay. All right. Now I have to modify this and end. That's the name, right? Clock, CPU clock. All right. I think that's good. Okay. We broke here, and we go down. In, up. Okay. So we're at 120 again. Uh, yeah, this should be. This is incorrect. It should actually be the. Oh, hold on. That's why. That's why. Okay. first. Just going to put that back there. Wait, did it set okay. Wait, did it already interrupt? Suppose it did. And the next time, this should be 0 or 1, 1, 1. Right, I suppose since it would be really just any value would just not do anything. All right, we have a register program counter exactly at our breakpoint. Okay, and we have register return address at the continued location, or at the further away locations as we would expect. I want to verify this though. 120 plus 32 is 132, or 152 plus another 32. Not quite as expected. But then again, at this point, some instruction might have occurred. So, hmm. So I'm considering this a success. Of course, you might want to actually handle an interrupt during the privileged portion of control. Maybe you don't have any unprivileged programs running, so what, you just never get interrupts? Uh, that would not be good. No, I'm going to put this as a CPU option. Oh wait, no, this functions right here. Okay. Wait a minute. Did I? I think I did this wrong. Okay. I'm putting a dash there so I can remind myself that that's not properly tested. Because what I tested was a clear interrupt. And then again, auto interrupt was a part of that. So So if this is not set, this will evaluate to true, and then we'll stop evaluating here because of C++'s short circuit, which doesn't really matter since this isn't a function call. But if this is false, then we'll evaluate this. If it's true, then we can just continue on. In fact, I could just do that. So that way, if it uh, if it is if this is true, then we don't care what, whether or not it's uh, running with privilege. Okay, so I can get rid of these and this, as well as that. But now I have to add it. Where's the CPU instruction? There we go. This is a comparison, which will resolve to a Boolean, and then we'll set privilege interrupt to that. So if any non-zero value will cause this to be true, and a zero value will cause it to be false. Actually, other than a few things here, I think that's it for the CPU. Like I need a better way to write to this. Then again, I can poke and peek at it as I guess I would normally. But the I suppose that's good enough actually. All right. Going to compile this one last time. If I am going to put it into GDevelop at this moment, I don't know. Folder in File Explorer. Debug. Oh, right. Should build the release version. How many errors am I going to get? None. So maybe I should resolve some of these warnings. Truncation, I'm not too concerned about. I should be checking this out just to make sure. All right, line 299. 254. This again. 802. There. I am explicitly setting it to that. I also saw something about an error here. Not all paths lead back to or lead to a return. Stop environment is CPU privileged. There we go. Let's check. Compiled because no, I did it from previous. Okay. All right. Now we have release DLL, and I need a way to get over here. I've decided to rewrite the entire thing. I wasn't that far in. All right. But I suppose the first thing I want to do is just make a thing that can render out some data. Render might be the wrong term to use here. Who cares? I'll understand it, and I'm the one writing this. So the idea is that I'm going to say in the fourth bank of the first CPU is all the data to be rendered. Should I do a tile map? Would a tile map be fitting for this? Perhaps. I also did a little bit of calculation. I think 64 by 64 as actually fits within, was it one memory bank? Hold on. Because as a across one entire mapping, you have 65,536 memory locations. But actually, this fits in less than one thing. And if I remember correctly, one tile is 128. Okay, so we have a map size of 8,192. But, you know, might have to do something here. All right. So I've been modifying these because I want them to have a little bit more immediacy to what they do. Some of these aren't modified from how I last had them. Some of them are. I've also usually just keep this an entirely great thing when it's the no operation. But whatever, I need to build a tile map now. So, 128, 128. Because these are tiles that's going to be used in GDev. So, actually, I should have this. No, wait, hold on. This isn't NES graphics. It can have the first one not be a blank thing. Okay. All right. So, first is the no operation. Then we have a border, which is not gray. And we can put our instructions. Ah, free. Okay, here we go. There we go. Not pasting an entirely new layer, just the content. Mm. Remember to stay hydrated. One way or another. Right, so we have a no operation and move. Now, I have a lot of space here. So one of the things that I'm going to have to figure out is how exactly I want to draw the operands. Because the operations are nice and all, but we need operands. Oh right, I didn't flatten it. Uh, or oh right, frick. Sprite size. Wait, canvas size. One hundred twenty and 1,280 is going to be the output size. That's going to have all of this, but we need a 10 by 10. All right, so not as much room, not as much space, but still 100 tiles. I realized that when I saw this. Um, I like to make it 400, and GDevelop likes to default to 1/10. Perfect. Then we need to change our map size from nothing to 64 by 64. Okay. Maybe, however, it might be of a better idea to actually have the larger thing. And then again, I'm not going to make a 65,536 tile thing. That's ridiculous. I was thinking that, so I could just go ahead and put all of these. But also, I need to have the operands and not just the instructions. I've decided on one thing. So, uh, the area drawn here won't actually be instructions. It will be 2 bytes, which is a lot less than what an actual instruction is. It'll be 1 byte specifying what the next byte is. Uh, with a 00, it just probably means that it's empty space. Don't worry about the actual value. With a 01, I imagine that would be like a instruction. Hey, this is an instruction. When you step on it, if you have valid operands, execute. Then again, you can just try to build it anyways, and if it doesn't work, it's just not going to do anything. So I want it to go all around like, all right, so we have all this stuff here. We're just building it on the fly, sort of. Then again, building it on the fly is kind of very slow. I mean, I'm going to give you a little hint. Loading tiles is or not loading tiles, but manually plotting tiles one by one is something to slow down GDevelop to a halt. So, what I'm thinking is, hold on, where is it? Set as global object. Uh, Wherever this character is, we just go ahead and draw the area around it. Update the area around it. That's actually a thing that I'm doing in a different game that I'm not going to talk about. But also, I'm pretty sure that's how a lot of games in the past have worked. Like Pokemon, I think that that drew the tiles around it as you were navigating through everything. I might be wrong on that. I'm not an expert in the first generation of Pokemon or how it works under the hood. Right. Any case, right. We have to go in here and activate the use external stuff. Say vertical synchronization is a must. I'm going to keep it frame rate capped because I like to think that this would run 60 frames per second. And maybe it's just kind of important for it to do it anyways. Yeah, I'd like to make sure that this then again, eh, Okay, so let's see. That's not quite what I meant. There we go. New. Okay, news right here. What's today? November 26th. Actually, I don't think I need to. I'm not. Do I have to capitalize all of this? I think I have to capitalize all of this. Uh, no, wait, not. This will get us a handle to the library. So, or that will be our handle to the library. Uh, what did I call it again? Exie emulator. Do I have to put the L? Do I? Is that a thing I have to do? Yes. L seems to be required. Okay. So, uh, So we need a make system, and then we can run system indefinitely, or step the system step by step, or we can run the system for a certain amount of ticks. But the first thing is this. Also, how did I do this in MBI? How did I just write out all the functions? Um, yeah, I suppose I've written out everything beforehand. All right. I don't want to do that in the same file, so create new source file. Uh, okay. So here we have to go ahead and define all the function types. Thank goodness I already have all of this written down. Uh, here it is. Okay. Dang it, what's the first one? I'm just going to use this as reference. Make system. Just, yeah, I do leave it hanging like that. Okay. So first, before I do that, here I'm going to have another thing. So free library, then right, and we copy and paste this for everything else. Of course, a return of false is pretty bad. Because if this can't load, then the game can't run. Hmm. I'm going to use run system tick, just because that way I can ensure that the system is not going to run indefinitely. Also, do I have something to stop? I do have something to stop the system. Just don't have it over here. I'm also going to need peak memory, add breakpoint, environment is going to be needed. Get register value. Now that's definitely going to be needed. Do I have a free library down here, or have I just been? Nope. No, I do not. Oh well, not important. I guess Pokemon memory is important. Make system run status value. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Uh, and I'm going to move this all the way up here, just because I want to have a friend. See, I would have never gotten that. I'm gonna move this up here. No, I don't actually have that there. All right. Okay. So, I need a calculator. So this is okay. Maybe that was wrong. $61,439 is our start location. 65,535 is our end location. This is not going to be an easy task. I got to figure out exactly what area do I draw new. I could just draw like refresh the entire area around this character, but the problem with that is uh, it'd be really slow. So, with that in mind, I think what I need to do is uh, figure out where this character is, where this character is going, and figure out all the tiles that I need to update based off of its location compared to its old location. If this were a uh, grid-based system that I could only move one direction at a time in, and that was okay. I think Twitch on my phone just crashed again. In any case, I would from if this were my old location and this were my new location, I moved 128 uh, units down, which means I have to draw the bottom row of tiles. Now, usually you want to do this just a little bit on screen, just so that way, when it gets to be on screen, it's already there. It's all drawn already. But also, I need to figure out where exactly to put this. And for that, I need to figure out exactly where I want this character to be located. So I think the first two banks of memory are going to be wrong, or at least they're going to be the executed code that I don't want to have overwritten. So that leaves us with 32,760 eight and after. So I think for that, I'm going to take hold on, action. I need a function to grab the area. I'm thinking uh, that location 0x8000 would be the start of RAM uh, for stuff, and at the 0x1000 would be the start of world building. That is all the data related to tiles and other things. Maybe. So, whereas, uh, all right. Well, that's going to be it for today. If you're watching the stream, thank you. If you're watching later on YouTube, thank you. That's going to be it for me. So until I see you again, this is goodbye.